Auburn is going to San Antonio. Auburn defeats Michigan State 70-64. Held on to pull it off at the end. Auburn season continues. I'm your boy C Dub. Mike G, Ike Jones are in Atlanta covering the game. I'll be holding it down for you. May even have some people jump in to actually bug along with us. This is a bug session, y'all. Let's enjoy this win for Auburn, pulling out a continuing a very historical season for them. Auburn is on schedule. Auburn has a chance to get revenge against a Florida team that beat Auburn in Neville Arena earlier this season. Before we react, we get a lot of you guys reactions. This is about the fans. You get to comment and let us know your thoughts. Before you do, take some time for people to get in here. Just 30 people right now. Be sure to share this video, smash the like button. And guys, if you're new to the channel, we would love for you to subscribe. Definitely an eventful game. Auburn jumped out on Michigan State early in this game, and it looked like Auburn was going to run away with it. But credit to Michigan State for fighting their way back into this game. And it got a little scary at the end. Auburn was up up double digits. Janai Broome injures his arm. It looked like he may have hyperextended it while trying to brace for his fall while going for a block. Went out, and Auburn began to kind of struggle to find offense. Michigan State tried to get his way back in the game. Broome comes back, hits a big time three. I know people have not been wanting to see Janai Broome shoot threes, but he knocks down a three, a critical three, and Auburn is able to hold on. Again, credit to Michigan State for not giving up and fighting to keep their way, to stay in this game and fight back. Real quick, we'll go over some of the scores here. Leading scores in this game, obviously, Janai Broome, another monster game. 25 points, 10 of 13 shooting. He was 2 of 2 from the three-point line. He hit 2 threes on the day. Very efficient in his scoring. 3 of 5 from the line. Had 4 offensive rebounds, 10 defensive rebounds for a total of 14 on the day. Had 1 block shot, 2 assists. He was just a monster down in the paint, and I expected him to actually have a big game. Again, he didn't have to worry about going against 2 twin towers in this game. So early on in this game, Auburn went to Janai early and often, and it seemed like Janai was being able to get whatever he wanted as long as there were no double teams coming. He was eating in this game, and so Michigan State made some necessary adjustments. They began to double team. They began to apply a little bit of pressure on Janai, but Janai was working today. It was the scoring was the distribution of scoring was pretty. There wasn't a major score. I think the second leading scorer was Tahad Pettiford with 10 points. He was 4 of 12 in this game from the field goal. He had 2 of 6 threes made. He went to the line only once, one trip. He was 0 of 1 there. Definitely a good game from him nonetheless, though. Again, this is an amazing effort. Behind him, there was a Miles Kelly sighting in this game. He was 3 of 10 on the day, 8 points. Denver Jones had 8 points. Chaney Johnson had 8 points. Chaney Johnson had the type of game that Auburn needed. I felt like he needed to show up, and he did. 8 points, 3 of 7 shooting. He had 6 boards in this game. Again, that's right around where I was saying he needed to go a double-digit win. About 7 boards. He was close. 8.6 boards. We'll take it from him. Dylan Cartwell played a heck of a game. 5 points, 6 rebounds on the game. Had an amazing performance. Chad Baker-Mazar still struggled in this game, but he hit some timely shots when we needed it the most. He was 2 of 8 from three-point land, but those 2 came in the second half. Big shots from him. An amazing effort for this team, and you have to be excited about an Auburn team who still has everything in front of them. Obviously, there's a concern about Janai Broome's health, but he was able to come back into the game and truly help lift this team and get this team across the finish line. But they have a whole week nearly to rest before Saturday in San Antonio, where they have a chance to go on a bit of a revenge tour. They will face off against Florida again, who beat Auburn handily in Neville Arena. But I think this is a team that can get up for this game. We've seen Florida, again, a very, very dangerous Florida team. They had to go down to the wire a few times on the last couple of games. And so, again, this is what March is all about. So I'm excited to see Auburn have a second chance at Florida. We'll see if they can make the most of it. Let's get to some of you guys' comments real quick. Tom McMeans with the $5 super chat. Appreciate you, good sir. He says this team wants it. Yeah, they definitely will themselves across the finish line. And again, they were the better team for pretty much the entirety of this game, and they played like it. There was a sense of urgency in Auburn, and it was encouraging to see Auburn jump out in a big lead on Michigan State there. Dwayne Logan says, on to San Antonio. War Eagle back at you, Dwayne. Fire Freeze gifted 50 War Report memberships. Appreciate you, Fire Freeze. Appreciate you for gifting War Report memberships. Guys, if you're not a member, if you're not a part of the Green Name Gang, definitely check your email to see if YouTube has selected you to actually receive one of those memberships. And if you're part of the Green Name Gang, Ike is definitely going to be looking into some film, providing some content behind the paywall as he begins to preview the Final Four, preview Auburn's next opponent, and kind of break down Florida further and talk about ways that Auburn can potentially have a chance at advancing to the championship game. Thanks again, Fire Freeze, for those gifted Warport memberships. Heavy says Chaney turned out to be an X factor. This is what we was calling for in this game, Heavy. Auburn needed Chaney Johnson to show up. And again, this is the type of production. And really and truly, when you have a guy when you have Janai Broome who's going off, it puts less pressure on a Chaney Johnson. But when Chaney Johnson does show up, you do like the fact that teams have to account for him. So you saw a lot of crashing and putting pressure on Janai Broome, but when Chaney Johnson is down low in the paint, actually getting those tough buckets, Auburn is able to get a lot of what they wanted in the paint. And I have to look up to see how many points in the paint. Auburn had 34 points in the paint in this game. An amazing performance by Auburn. I'm going to get a few more War Report memberships, and I'm going to bring in a good friend of ours, friend of the show, part of the War Report Network in a minute. But Heavy here. Heavy says, I got to see another Dylan dunk, so I am happy. Yes, definitely got to see Dylan. Again, he had an amazing game. Credit to him. A big part of why Auburn advanced today. So Nina says, C-Dub, War Damn Eagle, why are you so calm? Nina, I am bubbling up on the inside, but I have a show to do, so I have to keep it calm. I will probably do a lot of my yelling after this, or probably when Dylan gets on and I get the book real heavy. But you wait for it. You wait for it. I'm going to bring in my good friend, Dylan Lark. Dill. How you feel, man? Let's get your book on.
There might have been a little bit of tears shed, a little bit happy tears going on. Man, back in the Final Four, second time ever, second time in my lifetime. Man, I don't think I could boog enough without actually crying.
Yeah,
it's great to be an Auburn Tiger today.
Yes, it is.
And this year,
love that hat, by the way. Love that.
Thank you. I get a lot of compliments about
it. Listen, it has been, again, it's been a bit of a relief, right? Because going into this tournament, there was a lot of talk about, can Auburn even get out of the first weekend, right? Again, it was the end of the world. The sky's falling. Auburn lost 3 of its last 4. Can they even get there? And for Auburn to persevere, to actually look impressive while doing so, getting to the Final Four. Again, this has to be a bit of vindication for this team. And again, they had to kind of take on that kind of underdog mentality in terms of, hey, we're the underdogs here. People not believing in us to get the job done, but they pull it out and just talk about just how much this validates a lot the number one overall seed. It validates just the respect that Auburn got going into this tournament. They are all number ones advanced to the Final Four. First time since they were in San Antonio the last time. So just give me your thoughts, man, and just in terms of what's ahead of Auburn and what they have to play for.
I mean, Auburn knows who's in front of them just from sheer experience. They've played every single team left in the tournament. You have to get your get back versus Florida, and then you have either Duke that beat you earlier in the year. You have Houston that you were able to take down in like the first few weeks of the season. Auburn, the Auburn I've seen since the second half of that Bama State game is the Auburn team that I was expecting to see, and why I picked Auburn to win the national championship. I think this Auburn team, when they play the way they did, when they play the way they have the past few rounds, it's hard for me to think anybody in the world can take down this team. I mean, right now, I'd probably pick Auburn to beat probably the worst NBA team right now. That's how much bug I have in me towards this team, and just what I've seen. I mean, when Janai Broome went down, definitely heart-stopping moment. I was looking up how quickly I can donate an elbow, ankle, and however quick I can get that to him. But when he came back and immediately got a rebound and drained a three, I was like, oh yeah, Auburn's not losing today. This is not today is not the day Auburn goes down.
Right.
And what I've seen from Florida, I mean, Florida has looked beatable in this tournament. Texas Tech almost took them down. They just kind of blew it in the end. But oh Lord, it's hard for me not to immediately think Auburn's going to win national championship this year. I don't get too far ahead of myself, but I mean, I'm thinking about calling in some sick days and trying to go to San Antonio for Monday.
Bringing in Dustin of the Uptempo. How are you, sir?
I'm great.
All Auburned out. How you feeling, man?
What a day. What a day. When we got this matchup, I knew Auburn was the more talented team, the better team. But it's just something about seeing Michigan State and Tom Izzo in the Elite Eight that scares you, right? It's like, man, if there's any coach that can pull it off and beat us, and then you see they've let us know a couple times about their 14 NCAA tournament wins when they were trailing at halftime. It's like, oh, that's pretty scary. Then you see Janai Broome go down. You know, this team, man, all year they've been resilient. They fought through adversity, and they've shown you time and time again. You know, you think back to last year, a team that won 25 plus games, but it was well documented that every win was a blowout, and that team wasn't ever able to pull out the close games, and they never, you saw they got into a tight game in the second round of the tournament and weren't able to pull it out. This team, like Dylan just alluded to, has played one of the toughest schedules we've ever seen. They've been battle tested, and they've pulled it out time and time again. They've won every kind of game. They can win the race to 90. They can win the race to 60. Any kind of game, this Auburn team is equipped to win it. And, it just was just not Janai Broome's best game of the tournament. Like, you knew you can. Tahaj had his moments this tournament, right? Miles Kelly's had his moments down the stretch. It's been different guys every night, and that's the strength of the team. But you had to know at some point you're going to have to call on Janai, and he's going to be ready to go. He was efficient. He established himself early. The mismatch was there down low.
Yeah.
We heard, going back to the last game, it was all about the Twin Towers and blah, 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 blah. He's still able to get a double-double. He dominated tonight as well. I mean, obviously super efficient on the offensive end, kind of just getting whatever he wanted up until the injury. The momentum boost, because, like, I'm not going to lie to you guys, I didn't think it was as bad, but I was like, last time we got to the Elite Eight, we lost Chuma Okeke. Now we get here and we lose Janai. Like, there's no way this is happening again. And he comes right back out and hits that three. What a big momentum boost for the team this is. So, mean, I think that it's just what this team has accomplished is incredible. When we look back at, and I know we still got 2 more games to go, job's not finished, all that. The goal for this squad is to win the national championship. But just kind of taking a look a second for what this team has accomplished: 32 wins, the teams that they've beat, and now we're in the Final Four. It's incredible, man. It's a great day to be an Auburn Tiger. And what's cool about it is if you think back to the last time Auburn made the Final Four, you had to slay all these dragons, right? The North Carolinas, we played Blue Blood after Blue Blood on that run.
Kansas,
to get to the Final Four today, you took down Kentucky in the Elite Eight. Like, to get to the Final Four today, this is a historic win. You faced Tom Izzo and Michigan State, and really you were the better team from the jump. I mean, you got kind of careless there at the end and made it closer than it had to be. Hey, BP, we can call a timeout, buddy. We can call a timeout if they got our guards trapped baseline. You can't take them home. He had 3 with a minute to go there. Some of those didn't have to happen, but super proud of this team, man. And I agree with you, Dylan. I feel confident in what this team's going to be able to do next week in San Antonio. I like where we're at.
Gentlemen, again, it feels good to see a team that many people were, and I think a lot of Auburn fans have PTSD from a lot of the misfortune that has happened to them. Pick a sport, right? And some of that is carryover from other sports. So there's the pessimism that Auburn may have peaked too soon, right? When you begin to see Auburn lose some games, because it wasn't just media, a lot of it was the fan base. So I think right now, regardless of what happens upcoming weekend, this should be a huge exhale for a lot of Auburn fans that no, this team has not peaked. They're right on schedule, and everything is still in front of them. As a matter of fact, again, this validates a lot of the hard work, the insane non-conference schedule, winning the SEC regular season title, right? Like all of this was for this moment for Auburn to be able to close the deal and get to the Final Four. Now you have a chance to really kill 2 birds with 1 stone, get a revenge on a Florida team that you believe that you can beat, get to the national championship where you're probably going to have to be in another revenge game of some sort, whether avenging your victory over Houston or getting get back on Duke. This is a get back tour. And again, you have a lot of motivation if you're Auburn. So Dylan, talk about just what do you expect Auburn to win. What kind of Auburn are you expecting to see? Is this a return of what we saw in Maui? What kind of Auburn are you expecting to be able to beat a team like the Florida Gators?
Well, you're going to have to, especially not be the team that played Florida last time around. Yeah. The Auburn I have seen, and Auburn, of course, it's been like a in chunks thing. Auburn's been a different team through the non-con, through the conference, or the first half of conference, through the second half conference, and at the early start of March Madness, it looked like Auburn was going to continue on their path. They're going to squeak by Alabama State, and then they're just going to fall off in the second round. But an ignition sparked in the second half. You saw a new Auburn. This Auburn team plays like the team that got the number 1 ranking in the first place. It plays with the Auburn team that knew going into the season that they were a national championship or bust team. That is how good this team has been. I don't want to say I expect Auburn to win right now, but right now it is very hard for me not to look at Auburn and say they're going to be in the national championship. It's hard for me to look at that and say we're all gonna be driving down to Auburn, Alabama on Monday evening and the butt crack of dawn to go throw some toilet paper on some trees celebrating an Auburn win in the national championship. It's hard for me not to book like that because that's how good this team has looked. They look like the Auburn team they were supposed to be through every game of the season. And yes, the season regular season ended a little poorly. You lost 3 out of your last 4. But this team does not play like the team that we saw throughout the SEC tournament. This team plays like the team that went into Maui and kicked butt left and right and took no prisoners.
Yeah, indeed.
And I'm also buying a Final Four hat as we speak.
There you go.
Get that going on.
Let's get to some of your comments. Again, we appreciate you guys being on with us, celebrating Auburn advancing to its second Final Four in school history. We got to talk about Bruce Pearl and what he's done for Auburn basketball. So relevant on the national scene now. Heavy wants the plus or minus. Heavy, got you, my guy. That's coming. I would say that be coming after play of the game, but I think that's almost a foregone conclusion who that is. But I'll ask anyway. But definitely we will be doing plus or minus in a little bit. Demario Nettles says, man, this feels so good, man. Yes, it does feel good to see Auburn take care of business and win its region. Again, you're so happy for the seniors, for the guys who came back. Like, this is why you come back, right? Like, obviously, in the age of NIL, it makes it easier to convince guys to come back. But this is a very rewarding feeling to come back and really avenge last season, right? Obviously, you had expectations to go a lot further last year. This feels good to get this far this year. And again, the job's not done. So, yes, an amazing feeling. I can't wait because I had to get ready to do the show. I recorded this. I can't wait to see the celebration and see those guys celebrate. So, happy for them. Chris K says, Wardam Eagle, Virginia still double dribbled 6 years ago. Yes, they did. Never. #never forget, Chris K. Thank you for the comment there. Royce Butler says, War Eagle back at you, good sir. Fire Freeze, thank you, sir. With a $100 super chat, says a few shekels for the Final Four travel fund. God bless you. God bless you, Fire Freeze. War Eagle back at you. Cool Breeze just became a member, part of the Green Name Gang. Thank you, Cool Breeze. James Barnett says, well, we took care of the state of Michigan. Call me, all in one weekend. Went through the state of Michigan in one weekend. It's a good feeling. Again, Auburn, the SEC got the best of the Big Ten in this one, right? So obviously there was some other victories. I think there was another matchup with the Big Ten, wasn't there? I think it was Ole Miss. Ole Miss fell to Michigan State, but Auburn was able to take care of the tournament Big Ten champions and the regular season Big Ten champions. So awesome to see that. Mercy says we own the entire state of Michigan. War damn Eagle. Let's talk real quick about. Again, we're in a celebratory mood, celebrating Auburn's advancing to the Final Four. Let's just talk about Bruce for a second, man. The issue and the concern that a lot of people had is that Bruce needed to get, and we talked about this a little bit, Dylan, but Bruce needed to get out of the first weekend, or we were going to have a conversation about how Bruce excels in the regular season, maybe even excels in the SEC tournament. But ever since that Final Four trip, he's been laying eggs. He's now in his second Final Four in 6 years. Sweet 16, Elite 8, now Final Four with a chance to get to the championship game. Let's talk about Bruce Pearl and this victory lap that I know he's taking right now, because again, you kind of blast those sentiments. Those sentiments have to go away for another 6 years now. Thoughts on that, Dustin?
Oh, well, he's got 10 tournament wins now, or maybe it's 11. Well, they said he had 10 coming in today, so now 11 tournament wins as Auburn's head coach. The most at Auburn all time. Auburn never made the Final Four. He's got us there twice now, and we all know that we got hosed the last time we went there, and we wouldn't even been in that situation. I think Auburn would have been up on Virginia handily if you would have had a healthy Chumo Kiki, and you probably would have then went on to beat Texas Tech and win the national championship. So, and ifs and buts and all that kind of stuff, but still, perspective. The COVID season, I feel like that team was at least going to get out the first weekend. They were playing great basketball. I thought that team was going to make the Sweet 16 at least. They were probably going to go on a little bit of a run. Were they a Final Four team? Maybe not, but that team would have got out the first weekend, especially the way that Isaac was playing, Samir was playing. Like, they were playing great ball. Nothing you can do about that situation. So, yeah, anyone that's saying that, you got to shut up. And I get it, because he had only done it one time, and it was pretty consistent. You were winning the first game, losing the second game. I would argue that most of those teams, outside of the Walker Kessler year and Jabari year, but most of those teams, that was kind of their limit. like the team 2 years ago where we lost to Houston in the round of 32. That was kind of that made sense to me. That was like that team's limit. They were around a 32 team that year. When you look at resources, and Bruce had an all basketball facility on tab, ready to go, and they canned it because the football team's got to build a new scoreboard that they're not even going to put any damn points up on anyway. He's just he's just so well. I mean, am I a liar? He's really, man, and what he does for the university, supporting all the other programs and just out there being an ambassador for Auburn. There's never any excuses. And Bruce came into Auburn pre-portal, right? So it was like a real rebuild. I mean, there was times I sat there. I was in Neville the night where Ben Simmons came in with LSU, and they ran one play. They just ran high ball screen. Ben Simmons went to a strong hand and laid it up, and they beat our brains out because we got Simeon Bauer running point. There's nothing we could do. We didn't have the bodies. We were playing like 6 guys. Yeah. I'm old enough to remember Auburn players getting investigated for point shaving. Pretty damn embarrassing. So where we are now, I mean, let's just look at and like, who is Bruce Pearl? What has he built this program on? It's pretty simple. Look at the opposing team scores in this tournament run. Alabama State 63, Creighton, a team that can fill it up from deep, 70, Michigan 65, Michigan State 64. It's defense. You know what this program is going to do. And I could tell early on in this game that Auburn was locked in defensively. And if we look forward a little bit to the Florida game, Florida got us specifically on our rotations. Yeah. Our defensive rotations versus Florida were terrible. Just a lack of communication, bad communication. We let them get open from deep time and time again. I doubt very highly that happens twice. And I like the fact that we're going to play a team that we've only faced once, and they're one of the few teams that kicked our ass this year, because I like our groups. I like our group's mindset. So I'm excited. I'm excited for this next weekend. I think it's going to be historic. I don't think we're done winning games. And Bruce Pearl is obviously the greatest basketball coach in Auburn history. And if he brings home a chip, and there's still 2 big games to go, but if he brings home a chip, then you can have a conversation of where he is all time for all of Auburn's head coaches. So, I mean, he's Jay Jacobs. Thank you, buddy. Thank you, Jay. Best thing you ever did, my guy.
No, I echo those sentiments. I think Bruce Pearl, for what he's done, because it's not like he's doing what Duke is doing, right? It's not like he's doing what some of these blue blood schools are doing, where they're getting some of the best of the best. Now, obviously, he has raised the ceiling in terms of Auburn recruiting, but some of these amazing blue chippers out of high school aren't necessarily considering Auburn over Duke, right? They're like, these kids are going to these big time programs. For him to do this with transfers, to get a Chad Baker-Mazara, a Denver Jones, sprinkle in, like, you got a Chaney Johnson that came from UH, right? You sprinkle in a bit of a bit of a Tahad Pettiford here and there, right? You get some of those guys, but for the most part, you got guys who've come from smaller schools, mid-majors, and you're building a juggernaut with those guys. And the sustainability of it, in terms of those guys are staying around. You have a lot of experience, senior-laden leadership on a team that can make these deep runs, that when you're down by 8 a few nights ago against Michigan, those guys kick it into gear. They don't fade away. So again, it's just been great to see this team truly accomplish some of the goals it set out to accomplish this year. And again, they have not peaked early because they're in the Final Four again with everything in front of them. So proud of those boys. Listen, let's talk about Tahad. Dylan, I'm gonna get your take on it too. He didn't fade away. He has definitely been every bit as good as advertised, and then some. But talk about Tahad Pettiford and how he's just been really and truly has stepped up and have become one of the leaders of this team.
Is Aiden Holloway still playing basketball? Because the hot pet.
I don't know who that is.
Yeah. Yeah, Tahad will be in. Well, you don't have to know who he is, but I can tell you where he won't be. Well, he might be as a spectator if he wants to watch some basketball. He can get on down to San Antonio, but he won't be playing any basketball there next weekend. It's I mean, yeah, he's like you mentioned. See, there's a lot of people on this team. I mean, your best players are transfer, from a group of 5 team or mid major, I guess they call them in basketball. Dylan Caldwell didn't even play basketball his senior year in high school. Like you got a lot of underdog stories. Tahad's the one guy, right? He's the one like highly recruited guy, but even then, he's like a highly recruited guy that there's still some doubt about because of size. Like there's still some underdog in there. He's not the Jabari Smith type. Like he's surefire top 5 lottery pick and all that kind of stuff. There's still questions about Tahad and whether he can, what can he do with his limitations of his size? Can he hang in there defensively? And that's been my biggest thing with Tahad this tournament is he has really stepped up his game defensively. And that was something that honestly I was worried about. I was worried about in this tournament. Would he be able to be physical enough to get into the basket? Was he fading at the end of the season as a true freshman? Because my thinking was, I mean, remember he went 0 for 8 versus Tennessee, and then you're kind of thinking in the back of your mind, like, well, we played this tough non-con, and then we just went through 18 games with this physical SEC. Is he, this is the most physical basketball he's ever played in his life for this length of time? Is he starting to kind of physically tire a little bit? He's been electric. He's been absolutely electric. And we're going to need him to play big for 2 more games if we want to win a national championship. And I have all the confidence in the world in him. And I think the most important thing is, and you've heard it with players that have played for Bruce Pearl for 10 years now, Bruce Pearl believes in him. And he can start off 0 for 3, 0 for 4 with a couple of turnovers. And when he gets back to that huddle, BP might get in his ass for a minute. But ultimately, it's, hey, man, I believe in you. Go back out there and continue to play your game. And I think when you have a young guy like that that's surrounded by a whole bunch of seniors that can pick him up, it's a nice mix, man. And if we're going to cut down the nets as national champions, we're going to need 2 more games with this Tahad Pettiford. And I completely believe in him.
Well, I know one thing: the moment's not too big for him because
there is no moment.
Gracious, goodness gracious. Dylan, your thoughts about Tahad Pettiford?
Yeah, Tahad's production in this tournament has been nothing short of a dream. He has just been lights out just for these past 4 games. I mean, you look at the last 5 games of the regular season. He had great games versus Kentucky, A&M, and Alabama. As the tournament started, then he had 5 points versus Ole Miss. He didn't score a single bucket versus Tennessee. And then Alabama State, you started to see, okay, well, maybe Tahad's going to be someone you can look to in this tournament. You're like, oh, well, maybe Tahad. He scored 16. Then Creighton, 23 points. Michigan put up 20. In this game, he put up 10 points, but production-wise, he was outstanding defensively. And, I mean, him and Dylan Caldwell both are 2 guys I was not expecting to be the people to take over the tournament, take eyes off of Janai Broome in the tournament at least. Those 2 have been phenomenal. But, yeah, Tahad Pettiford, I mean, he has been everything as advertised and even more. His play, his confidence level is something I forget he's a freshman sometimes when I'm watching him play. He does not play like a freshman. He does not play like someone who's a few months out of high school. This is a guy who knows he's playing alongside seniors, knows he has to step up his game and his confidence in the biggest stage in college basketball, maybe even basketball in general.
Yeah. Well, let me get to a few more chats here. Cleveland Brown says Auburn is ready for more. I see what you did there. War Eagle back at you, Cleveland, and he turned around and gifted 5 Warport memberships. So listen, Auburn is going to the Final Four, and a lot of people got memberships today. So we appreciate Cleveland Brown as well as others for gifting Warport memberships. It's a win-win for everybody here. Some final thoughts before we get out of here. I'll start. Well, before we do that, Heavy is going to have a fit if I don't do this. Plus minus. Before we get into it, who is your pick? I want to see you in the comments. Who is your pick for who had the highest plus minus in this game?
I'm gonna go Dylan Cardwell.
Dylan Cardwell. I'm gonna log you in for Dylan Cardwell, Dylan. Okay. Dustin.
Give me the big fella, Janai.
Janai. Okay.
Got a little bit tight when after he got hurt.
Person with the lowest plus or minus was Chris Moore. He had a -8. Behind him, interesting enough, was Denver Jones with a -2.
Yeah.
So tied for third behind him is +1 is Dylan Cardwell and Miles Kelly. They had 1. Okay, so Dylan won't have the highest plus or minus this game. That leaves us with Janai Broom, Chad Baker-Mazara, Tahad Pettiford, and Chaney Johnson. Janai Broom had a +3. I'm looking at that right. Chaney Johnson had a +9. That leaves us with Tahad and Chad Baker-Mazara, and the person with the highest plus or minus, Chad Baker-Mazara. He was a +15 in this game. Tahad Pettiford was a +11. So Chad Baker-Mazara had the highest plus or minus in this game. So congrats to him on the highest plus or minus. Player of the game is a given. It's you gotta give it. You gotta give it to Janai. Hurt arm and everything. He on potentially one ankle, one arm. Went out there and sunk a huge 3 in the game. Much needed 3. That game probably would have been a lot tighter had he not even come out and done that. But huge effort by him. He was a dog. This was the player of the year that many people was talking up throughout the season. So happy for them. Final thoughts before we get out of here. I'll start with you, Dylan.
Oh boy, this now it's going to start looking ahead. Florida currently the favorite. I think they just named Florida and Duke as the top 2 national championship favorites. ESPN already has Florida the 2.5-point favorite. You've played great basketball throughout the season. You've played even better basketball throughout the tournament. Now it's time to play 2 games of the best basketball you have in you. Auburn is the best team in the country, most complete team in the country. Again, I find it hard not to look at Auburn and say this is the national championship team right here. This team will be cutting down the nets Monday night.
Dustin.
Yeah, I'm with you. I mean, Dylan, I'm right there with you, dude. I'm right there with you, and I am a very, very cautious Auburn fan. Been through a lot of pain in this Auburn journey, as I'm sure all y'all have, man. Just really, really proud of this program, proud of this team. When you had the regular season that we had, you couldn't come out and lay a dud, and we've all had to listen to Yale time and time and time again. And that's a race now. That's you got to San Antonio, you've made history. Definitely want to finish the job like Dylan alluded to, but just you get the most wins in team history. Look at those wins. Like, look at who those wins have come against. Like, you just murders row the teams that you've beat.
Yeah.
It's been phenomenal. And there've been teams where in years past, a fight on an airplane could have dismantled a team early in the season, right? That feels like forever ago, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And we've just in Janai, I mean, we've seen him go down. We've seen CBM. I'm surprised. We've seen CBM get banged up a lot this year, playing through some stuff. I'm surprised to hear that he was +15, but that goes to show you that there's more to the game of basketball than just shooting.
Yeah.
I know it's easy when a guy has a rough shooting stretch to say, he played bad, but if he does everything else well, then it can help you out. And he's been locked down, and he's going to be crucial. When it comes to defending Florida on the perimeter. Him and Miles Kelly
in this game, Dustin. So that was a big part of
that. Right. So yeah, man, just really proud of this program. A lot goes into this, like behind the scenes. There's just so you got to be organized. Like I know there's so much that can't be overlooked. There's sports right now at Auburn that just can't get out of their own way. And a lot of that is stuff that happens when nobody's watching. And that's not this basketball program. They're doing the right things on the behind the scenes. They're doing the right things when the lights aren't on. And you're seeing a group that's together. You're seeing a group that's unselfish, that's willing to play team basketball. And, you know, it could be so easy. It could have been so easy for this team to gas out as the number one team all year, having to play all these tough matchups night after night after night. And they just continue to bring it. And they've turned their game up. They turned their effort up. I mean, I was kind of worried about the rebounding coming into the tournament. I mean, the effort on the glass has just been relentless. Like we're just getting after it, man. And balls kind of bouncing our way. I think back to the one that Taha just got across half court. I'm yelling at Bruce Pearl in my living room here. Call the timeout. What are we doing here? But we're kind of getting some of those bounces, and that's gotta be a thing for you too to get this far. So we're looking good, man. We're looking really good, but just really, really proud of where this program's at. 2 Final Four appearances under Bruce Pearl, but I'm ready to cut down the nets as a national champion, man, and hang a banner. A 2010 football season was a long time ago, and look, I know golf got theirs and all that kind of stuff, but big, the big dogs here, talking about the big three, we haven't had one in a while, and we're really, really close. And I'll just wrap up with this one, guys. The reason why the Virginia game hurt so much was because I understood how hard it is for any team to get back to the Final Four,
right?
And especially Auburn, right? Like it was our first time ever being there, and you're asking yourself, are we ever going to get back to this? Even as good as Bruce Pearl is, like that's just hard to do. And here we are. We're back with another chance. And I hope they keep doubting us. I hope that Florida and Duke are the favorites. I want them to talk about that all week.
Yes,
because I know that we got a locker room full of dogs that are come out and ready to play. And I take us over anybody right now. The way we're playing defense, man. Because you can have 3 or 4 minute stretches where you're struggling offensively if you're putting the other team in that same predicament 3 or 4 times a game, which right. Auburn has consistently done all year. So keep playing defense, protect the basketball, don't give up easy buckets in transition, and we're looking good, boys. We're looking good today.
Rest up, Janai. Hope he gets better. Want him to be close to 100%, if not 100%, and let's go out here and finish the job. But we appreciate you guys hanging out with us, celebrating Auburn advancing to his second Final Four in program history. The book continues throughout this week, and hopefully Auburn is booking on a week from tomorrow. Guys, we appreciate you hanging out with us. Please be sure to share this video, smash that like button, and subscribe before you get out of here. You can find us on Twitter and Instagram at The War Report. You can find us on TikTok at TW Report. Guys, we're signing off. Enjoy the rest of your evening, and as always, where you go?
Call God.